This week's edition of Concordia On Air comes to you live from the Moorhead Center Mall for our annual themed Christmas show. We're going to have a fun show for you. We have segments on the spot with shoppers, with retail salespeople, even an interview with Santa Claus, plus the latest in news and sports. Join us soon for your latest edition of Concordia On Air. For Concordia On Air, I'm your hostess, Valerie Hack.
And I'm your host, Eric Bush. Thank you for joining us today on Concordia On Air. This is our special Christmas edition as we come to you from, where are we, Moorhead Mall?
Moorhead Center Mall.
Moorhead Center Mall. I'm a new person in Moorhead. I don't know where we are. They just blindfolded me, they took me here, but hey, I'm here and I'm happy. Anyways, before we go on, let's talk about the clothing we're wearing.
The clothing we're wearing is being borrowed to us from Herberger's right here in the mall, so we should plug that.
Yeah, plug Herberger's because they're lovely people. Went and got the threads, got the suit, got the tie, got everything. I even got socks. Don't get a shot. They're really not good. Anyways, special Christmas show. We got an interview with Santa. I get to interview Santa. You guys stick around with that because there's stuff that I'm going to ask that everyone is curious to know about Santa. As far as the upcoming show, before we get going, let's talk about what you think Christmas is all about. What is Christmas? Is Christmas now what it used to be?
I think a lot of times it really gets lost, the real true meaning. Even, I mean, I can say I'm a Christian, but even you get caught up in the thing of buying things and of doing things for other people, but it doesn't even really until I go to church, like on Christmas Eve or something, that I realize that it's all that Christ was born on Christmas. So.
Yeah, and I know what you're saying. And of course, us being from Concordia, that always helps, you know, to plug that. So, but let's get on with the show.
Okay.
What do you say?
I say that one thing that a lot of people don't realize about Christmas is that like different countries celebrate in different ways. There's just different traditions that countries have. One way that Concordia is looking at this was by an international, what was it called? The Glitz and Glamour Holiday Fashion Review was sponsored by the International Student Organization at Concordia. It takes a look at different festive wear that different international countries wear. This was a segment done by Sarah Chalace and Tiffany Reinschmidt. Let's go to that report.
Christmas is just around the corner and Concordia has the spirit. One event that you may have missed was the Glitz and Glamour Holiday Fashion Show. The night began with Reverend Walter McDuffie, the Director of Multicultural Affairs at Concordia, leading the Christmas Carol Sing-Along. Hilda Peterson, the International Student Advisor at Concordia, collected 40 ethnic costumes. Many of these were displayed and modeled during the fashion show. Stories and humor from around the world were shared with Concordia. Other entertainment was provided by two talented tap dancers, also from Concordia.
We are very proud to have her here with us this evening. And June 1st, model for you Atanash dress.
Miss North Dakota 1992 was the featured model in the fashion show sponsored by Florentines de Paris, located in the Holiday Mall.
Beautiful shoes with a lovely handbag to go together.
Holiday fashions were also modeled by other models as well. Prizes were awarded to the most glamorous, unique, and humorous costumes. For Concordia On Air, I am Sarah Chalace with camera person Tiffany Reinschmidt. Happy holidays!
Hi, I'm Jane Holm for Concordia On Air, and we're here back at the Moorhead Center Mall, and I'm with Judy Kempstead. And you just got off work, Judy?
Yes, I did.
And where do you work?
At Her Burgers.
And how has business been going this Christmas season?
It's been going really well. They're
And-
real pleased.
Oh, what department do you work in?
I work in lingerie.
So I suppose sales there are always pretty good.
Always good. Yes.
And are you doing some Christmas shopping this evening?
Yeah, I'm doing a little. I have
And
a little left.
How is your Christmas shopping coming along this year?
It's going really well.
Are you ahead of schedule, or are you one of
Yes.
those late, last minute?
Very much ahead of schedule.
Great. And this year opposed to last year, are you spending more or less?
I'm spending less. Last year we were on a trip at this time and I kind of went all out.
Just kind of went out, so you're kind of holding back this year?
Yeah, I am.
All right, well, thanks for joining us, Judy.
You're welcome.
Have a good Christmas.
You too.
Next up on Concordia On Air, we've got the news. And, of course, the latest story going around, I know, at Concordia College campus is the upcoming Guns N' Roses concert. Have you got a story on that?
That's right, we do.
What else can we look forward to?
Story on how homeless families can benefit from overloaded food trucks.
Okay. That's coming up next on Concordia On Air News.
Women made up half of the 32 Americans named as Rhodes Scholars, their biggest gain since becoming eligible in 1976. The students included 21-year-old Carrie LeSueur of Minot, North Dakota. It was exhilarating. That would be the way to describe it all, LeSueur said Sunday from Bryn Mawr, a women's college who now has its first Rhodes Scholar.
The Fargo Dome has already booked its first big concert for March 21st. Guns N' Roses will be rocking Fargo Moorhead at 8:30 p.m. that Sunday. Dome Executive Director Roger Newton stated that the seating capacity for the concert will be about 25,000. As of now, it looks as though the concert could be a sellout, with tickets being sold on a lottery basis for $23.50. All seats will be reserved and tickets go on sale at 9 a.m. on Saturday, with lottery numbers being distributed at 8 a.m. that morning with Ticketmaster outlets, including the Fargo Dome ticket office. One more note about the concert. Opening for Guns N' Roses will be the Brian May Band, featuring a former member of the popular 70s group Queen. Advertising is being done in several other cities, and Fargo Dome director Newton also said, "We expect a big crowd. The fact that we're doing the lottery tells you we think we're going to have a huge crowd." So if you're planning on attending the first major concert at the Fargo Dome, it looks like getting tickets will be the major obstacle to overcome.
41% of Minnesotans responding to a new poll said that they'd visited the Mall of America in Bloomington, Minnesota at least once. The average expenditure for each individual for food, rides at Knott's Camp Snoopy, and shopping was $39 in a 3.5-hour time period. Mike McKay, Senior Vice President for Simon and Associates, the firm which developed the mall, responded to these figures by saying, "We're pleased with the findings of the poll, but talk to me in a year from now, when all the opening excitement is over." The majority of those polled cited curiosity as their main reason for visiting there.
Well, as filmmakers promised, many new films have been released during the holiday season, with more to be released later this month. Among the biggest hits this Christmas season include Bram Stoker's Dracula, starring Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, and Keanu Reeves. And Anthony Hopkins. Also released recently was a Disney picture, Aladdin, which has been predicted to top the presumed unbeatable Beauty and the Beast. Another picture stars Whitney Houston with Kevin Costner, which is entitled The Bodyguard. It's accompanied by a popular soundtrack with several songs by Whitney Houston. And, of course, the big one this Christmas season is Home Alone 2, which has already made a huge mark in the box office. Yet to be released are several other movies with high hopes: Toys starring Robin Williams, Hoffa, directed by Danny DeVito and starring Jack Nicholson, and finally Chaplin, starring Robert Downey Jr. as Master of Comedy Charlie Chaplin. As you can see, the cinema this Christmas season is packed with a variety of films of all genres. So when looking for a holiday activity for the family, why not consider a trip to the theater?
Continuing on in our holiday spirit, I'm News Director Heather Faulkner here with Jeff Wienis, employee of Wirtz Camera. Thank you for joining us today, Jeff. Could you please begin by telling us a little bit about the merchandise you have in your store?
Well, at Ritz Camera in the Moorhead Center Mall, we carry a full line of single lens reflex cameras, the one-touch or point-and-shoot cameras, and also we have we can get video cameras for people. We also carry film batteries, camera filters, lenses, frames, pretty much anything that has to do with photography.
Everything that has to do with photography. Well, if you were out shopping for Christmas presents, what type of camera or what type of gift would you be recommending this year?
They've made a lot of technological advancements in the last couple of years, and cameras that people bought 3-4 years ago might not be as advanced as some of the newer ones. We have ones with red-eye reducing flash, zoom lenses, things like that for right around $100 or $150. And I'd really recommend one of those. They take excellent quality pictures.
So you feel that a camera then is a good investment, something that'll last throughout the years?
I think it is, yes.
Okay. Have you noticed sales better or worse than last year? With all the talk of the recession, have you noticed sales dipping at all for this season?
Not really. Last year we were right in the transition from from Black's Photography to Ritz Camera, and now we're established as Ritz Camera, and sales have been up this year.
Well, great. Thank you so much. Again, this is Heather Faulkner with Jeff Weenus at Ritz Camera.
And our final story, when truckers get caught with overweight loads of food at a weighing station near Interstate I-94 near Menominee, Wisconsin, poor families often benefit thanks to Wayne Wilson. Wilson developed Operation Helping Hand, which allows trucks to donate excess food to the local food pantry. The 6-year program has been so successful that efforts are underway to establish similar programs at all 20 truck stops around Wisconsin. Operation Helping Hand has received 109 tons of food, ranging from potatoes and carrots to canned clams. The program is furnishing 10% of food distributed to nearly 800 families this year. And I understand in sports this week, the hockey team is at home?
Yes, they're home for their first home game, and the basketball team is going to be on the road this weekend, so it's going to be an interesting time in the world of sports. Stay tuned, and we'll be back with Concordia On Air Sports.
We're playing, we're there. Concordia On Air Sports with Mike, Amy, and Carrie.
For Concordia On Air Sports, I'm Michael Meek.
And I'm Amy Haugen. The men's basketball team took on Moorhead State last Thursday, losing 74-79. The halftime score was tight, with Concordia trailing by 1, the score being 38-39. The Cobbers played hard, but came up short in the end, losing by 5 points to Moorhead State. Leading scorer for the running Cobbers was senior Eric Jersland with 16 points, followed by Kurt Moschenbacher with 15. Leading scorer for MSU was Mike Comey with 22 points. Concordia had 39 rebounds compared to MSU's 32. Leading rebounder was Scott Arnsep for the Cobbers. Currently, the Cobbers are 1-2 overall. The Cobbers play the Johnnies this Saturday at St. John's.
Concordia's wrestling team is hoping to better their 0-5 record with some victories in the second half of this coming season. The Cobbers are led by juniors Chris Sweeney, who has a 4-7 record, Garen Fisher, who has won 4 and lost 5, Rob Mosher, who has 3 victories and 5 losses, and Bill Kubek, who is 3-6. The Cobbers have a lot of young talent who just need some time on the mat to gain more experience wrestling at the college level. First-year head coach Doug Perry is optimistic and likes the team's chances of doing well in the MIAC. On another wrestling note, besides whether his team is winning or not, Coach Perry has another major concern, but this one is out of his control. There are only 6 schools in the MIAC that still sponsor wrestling programs. Should one or more team drop out of the MIAC, Concordia would be forced to play as an independent school, or they would face a decision as to whether to quit the program altogether. More on this story as it unfolds in the coming weeks.
Concordia's hockey team defeated Augsburg in their MIAC opener last Friday with a score of 3-2. Concordia made all of their goals in the third period, with left wing Mark Terrace making the first Concordia goal, followed by Jericho Tavanen and freshman Rhett Marston. Goalie Dan Zinger had 33 saves for the Cobbers, helping the team come out victorious. Saturday's matchup with Augsburg didn't have the same happy ending, though. Concordia lost 3-4 in overtime. Concordia and Augsburg made a Concordia and Augsburg made a goal each period. All three of Concordia's goals were made by junior Mark Terrace, assisted by Martin and Kerr. Dan Zinger had 33 saves for the Cobber, but all that wasn't enough. When a minute and 30 seconds into overtime, Augsburg made the goal, winning the game. The Cobbers are now 1-1 in the MIAC. The Cobber hockey team plays at home this Saturday against St. Norbert's. And in national hockey, Bob Probert, who plays left wing for the Detroit Red Wings, went home to his native Canada on Monday. This is the first time Probert has been back to Canada since being deported for cocaine smuggling nearly 4 years ago. Border guards caught Probert trying to smuggle cocaine through the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel into the United States in March of 1989. Probert had applied many times for an immigration waiver that would allow him to play hockey with the Red Wings while in Canada. The most recent application, turned in 2 weeks ago, was granted Monday, allowing Probert to return to his own country once again.
Some good news and some bad news out of the Minnesota Twins front office. For the good news, Minnesota Twins' favorite player and possibly Minnesota's favorite citizen, Kirby Puckett, has re-signed with the Twins for a reported 5-year contract worth $30 million. This makes Puckett the third highest player in baseball history. Now for the bad news. Greg Gagne, the Twins' underrated shortstop, has decided to leave the team after helping them win 2 World Series in 1987 and again in 1991. Gagne felt unappreciated by the Twins' management. Gagne has signed with the Kansas City Royals in a 3-year, $10.7 million deal. The Twins' top offer was a 3-year deal worth $7.5 million. A little more news in baseball. Speculation among the media and Twins fans is that hitter great and potential Hall of Famer Wade Boggs is going to become a Minnesota Twin. Although Andy McPhail denies it, Boggs seems very willing to play for the Twins and would realize he would have to be paid on a performance and not past performance basis. And since the Twins just lost shortstop Greg Gagne to free agency, they will need to pick up a shortstop because it sounds like Scott Leyes is going to move over and move over from third base to play shortstop.
Tokyo, Japan may get to host the Gophers. There has been speculation about moving the Gophers' home football game against Illinois to Tokyo, Japan. The Gophers are becoming a little concerned about the move, though, since there are many problems that go along with moving the game to foreign culture. Entertainment during the games is one of the problems that McKinley Boston, the men's athletic director, mentioned. He was quoted as saying to the Star Tribune, "While we are used to having some music at football games, they can drive you up the wall by playing music throughout the whole game, even when the quarterback is back behind the line." Advantages of the games are the spectators and the money. The Kansas State-Nebraska game brought in 55,000 fans to the stadium in Korea. The money offer is definitely a plus, since the Gophers don't bring in much money at their home games. The Gophers are promised $500,000 if they move their game to Tokyo.
And finally, in sports, the Vikings have 3 games left in the regular season and find themselves in a position to win the NFC Central title for the second time in 4 years. All the Vikings need to do is win one of their remaining 3 games or hope that Green Bay can lose one of their remaining 3 games. The difficult part is that the Vikings have to play the 49ers at the Dome, the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh, and finish out the season against Green Bay at home again. The scariest part is the Packers have a hot quarterback in second-year man Brett Favre. It will be interesting. Let's hope they don't screw it up this year. Val, we're going to go to you now with an interview.
Thanks, Mike and Amy. We're over here on location with Mr. George Benning, who is from Moorhead, Minnesota. Can you tell me a little bit about traditions, family traditions when you were younger that you had during Christmas?
During Christmas, we had one tradition that was observed on Christmas Eve. My mother always prepared oyster stew and then her fabulous fruitcakes, and my dad also made grape wine. At that particular time, especially when I was young, it was a toss-up between which I enjoyed the most.
So you liked them both, huh?
I liked all 3.
All 3, yes. Have you carried on those traditions at all?
To a limited degree. Once in a while we do have some oyster stew, and we also have wine. It isn't necessarily homemade grape wine any longer.
So do you see that Christmas has changed quite a bit through the years?
I suppose it has, but in our household I think it has remained pretty much the same. It's a commingling of 2 family Christmases. My wife brought some ideas to Christmas at home as well as myself.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for being here with us. Let's go back to Eric with an interview with Santa Claus.
Thank you for coming back to Concordia On Air. Right now we've got something coming up that I'm sure all the kids are looking forward to. We've got an interview with one of the most popular men across the entire country right now around Christmas time. Yes, that's correct, ladies and gentlemen. I am here with Santa Claus. That is Saint Nick. We will not refer to him as Nick. We'll refer to him as Santa Claus because, well, this is a formal guy, and we want to keep this as formal as possible. Thank you for joining us today, Mr. Santa Claus.
Well, you're welcome. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Say, the first thing that I would like to know is, how many kids are we seeing? Are a lot of kids coming out to say hi to you?
Oh, yes. It's a little quiet today, but on weekends where they really come out. Yeah.
And what's some of the things that the kids are asking for?
Oh, the boys want remote control cars. The girls want Barbie dolls. Some of them want the troll dolls. And then there's something new that they like now, too. It's the California doll with the rollerblades.
California doll.
Yeah.
California doll. Mark that down, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Parents at home, if you're looking for a California doll with rollerblades, popular gift among kids.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We've got the old microphone clipped on the beard of Santa. That works out well. Another thing, I'm curious to know just how much money, for the adults out there, how much money is a Santa Claus like yourself making these days?
Oh, it varies quite a bit. Depends on, yeah.
But are you doing well?
Oh, yes.
Okay, now I'm curious to know if we're doing so well in the money department, why is it that you choose to live up in an area like North Pole?
Well,
I mean, you could get a nice sunny cabin down in Florida if we want.
In the comic strip today, where there's one youngster that I mentioned, he was going to write a letter to Santa, but he wanted to soften him up. See, and he asked if that was the reason because of environmental setups and the cheaper, well, I better not say the, the cheaper salaries for the elves to help them or things like that. That isn't really it, though.
Well, remember, we are out here at the Moorhead Center Mall. If you want to come out and see Santa, here he is. He's got the setup, he's got the sleigh, he's got everything going for him. We've even got a little elf helper who's off stage right now. Unfortunately, she's kind of shy. She doesn't want to come out and say hi to everyone on the camera. But remember, can you come on out and say hi to Santa, tell him everything you want. Thank you for joining us today, Mr. Claus. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And what do we got coming up next on Concordia On Air? Hey, I think we're going to go to a message from us here at Concordia On Air. So let's stay tuned for this upcoming advertisement from all of us here.
With Holly Lair. She's out shopping at the Moorhead Center Mall. And Holly, we were wondering if you could tell us what you'd like for Christmas this year.
Well, there's only one thing that there's some things that I want, but I only know what it's named, and it's called My Bundle Baby.
Your Bundle Baby? Is it a special kind of baby?
No, not really.
Does she do anything fancy? Does she drink out of a bottle, or?
No, she does, well, actually, you can feel her kicking and then you can hear her heartbeat.
Really? So she's sort of like a live baby then?
Yeah, sort of.
Is there anything else you'd really, really like for Christmas?
Yeah.
Just that? You'd just be happy with that. What are you going to get Mom and Dad for Christmas, do you think?
I don't know.
You still kind of looking around?
Sure.
Okay, well, we'll tell Santa what you want, and thanks for interviewing with us today, okay, Holly?
Okay. Bye.
And now back to Eric and Val.
Thanks, Heather. So tell me, Eric, have you got any big plans? What you want for Christmas?
For Christmas, my needs are very basic. I need college tuition money, but I've asked Uncle Sam for that. Hopefully he'll deliver.
That's not much.
No. And Concordia College is such a fine value. You know, I mean, the tuition there is so cheap. Other than that, though, I'm looking for a vehicle, a car, and maybe the insurance and gas money to go with it. How about you?
Gosh, well, actually, I'm looking for my spring break trip to be paid.
And where were you planning on going?
The plan right now is me and the roommates heading down to Cancun for a little sun, a little ocean water, a little...
Ocean water. Popular drink down there in that southern area, ocean water. You know, everyone is talking about the ocean water down in Cancun.
Well, hopefully we'll get those things.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, that car, and you can hope for your trip, and I wish you the best of luck with that.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
From all of us here at Concordia On Air, we're very thankful that you've been with us. This is our last show of the semester.
Anyways, we are here once again at Moorhead Center Mall, and we invite all of you to come on out here and say hello to Santa, say hello to the elves, and of course, go into Herberger.
Yes, thanks again to Herberger's.
Because at Herberger's you can get fine threads and clothing such as these that we are all wearing. I'm wearing one, you're wearing one, we got everyone else wearing the outfits here, so come on down to Herberger's. I think we've plugged them enough. They'll be very thankful and appreciative for us plugging Herberger's as much as we have. Once again, that's Herberger's. Okay, everyone join us at Herberger's. Okay. I think that wraps it up for today at Concordia On Air. I thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Eric Bush.
And I'm your hostess, Valerie Hack. Have a very Merry Christmas.